split, enter, and we start leaving a track. It's highlighted on the screen. And we have unlimited track points. You can leave these tracks in the machine and it'll store just as a route. As a matter of fact, you can select a track and follow it as a route, forward or reverse. This would be incredibly useful for fishermen who can track an entire day's fishing or drifting and be able to duplicate it. We're going to stop the track, plot, stop track number 8. There's another feature where if you want to mark the position that you're in right at this moment, simply hit the plot key twice. It's now called Ship 1. You can go back and rename that later. And you can rename our waypoints with up to 26 characters. We'd like to insert a waypoint right here near these wrecks, so we can go to it later. Move the cursor to it, select plot. One of the choices is insert a waypoint. That's the one I want. It's number 3. We're going to call this one dive, because we're going to dive on these wrecks later. It's called dive. Here are 2 really impressive benefits of Simrad's waypoint management. We call dive. We want to give it more information on the screen using our alphanumeric keypad. So we can edit that waypoint, hitting enter and then edit user data, and choosing to edit the waypoint. And we can add information such as it's in 24 feet of water, using the alphanumeric keypad to go through the numbers and find 24 feet, and maybe the date. And we're going to call this March 05. And here on the screen, all the information that you will need about that dive spot is right there for you, not hidden in some list somewhere. A unique Simrad feature is that we differentiate between waypoints and route points. Waypoints are individual waypoints that you've selected. Route points are those points that we would normally call waypoints that are within the route, but we call them separate. It helps you organize your database better. Here is a route consisting of route points. Here are 2 waypoints. 2 waypoints, and we've decided we want to go to one of the waypoints. We hit the Go To key. We select number 2, which is waypoints, and it takes us to our waypoint list. Now we only have 4 waypoints in here, but if you had 400, it would be very hard to scroll all the way down through the list. So we've given you a quick step. You know it's waypoint 23. You saw that on the screen. So you just press the W key, and it jumps immediately to the W's, and you see waypoint 23, and you hit enter to accept it. And now here's the course to the waypoint. 334 degrees, 1.93 miles. We have a route from Key West to Miami. We're in Marathon. We want to jump on that route, and we want to go to Key West. So we'll zoom in using our quick zoom. And we'll see just offshore is the route. Put the cursor on a route point. Call up the information on this. We find it's route point number 2 from Key West to Miami, and it's 35 miles from the start of that point. Now remember, we're going to be going in the opposite direction, in reverse direction on this route. Go to route number 3. Key West to Miami, it's route point number 2, and we're going in the reverse direction. Enter. Here we go, from our vessel to the route point. The bearing is 210 degrees. Distance is 4.7 miles. We're on the next leg, 264 degrees, 35 miles, and we are on our way to Key West. With chart plotters, some people like to run north up, and some people like to run course up or head up. Here's the difference. Here's the vessel. We're running south, and the chart is in north up mode. The adjust key gives us access to north up or course up. Watch what happens. Now the land is here on our left. We're still going south, but now it's at the top of the screen. The benefit in running in course up is that what you see in the front of the boat here is what you see out of your windshield. The benefit of Simrad's dual vision, dual chart screen is that you can watch both north up and course up modes at the same time. On the left screen, there's the vessel moving south. In the right-hand screen, here's the vessel moving south. This arrow points to north. Keep the overview on north up and keep a close-up view course up. Radar is easily accessed from the chart plotter simply by pressing the radar key, and we're immediately there. This radar target is a coastline. This is an inlet. These are a series of buoys marking the approach to the inlet. We can make an immediate jump using Simrad's alphanumeric key from a close-in range, in this case a quarter of a mile, to a distant range, in this case 24 miles. We could do it like everybody else does. Range down, range down, range down, range down, and so forth. Or we can do it in a single quick jump using keys 1 through 9, a unique Simrad feature. In this case, we're looking at a 24-mile range, and you see individual 24, 16, and 8-mile range rings. At a half mile, we see a half mile and a quarter of a mile range rings. These targets, just on the starboard bow, are these targets at the 6-mile range. So there we see them at 6 miles, and there we see them at a half mile. Instant jumps without having to go range up, range up, range up, range down, range down, range down. There's another way to look at it. Dual range. On the left-hand screen, there's our inlet. There are the targets on the starboard bow. Here are the targets on the starboard bow. The left-hand screen is set at a range of 6 miles with 2-mile intervals between range rings. The right-hand screen is at 3/4 of a mile. We can set these independently. If we want to come out and take a little bit more of a view on this one, we need to move the red active frame using the window key to the right-hand side, and then simply make a jump to a more distant range. Now we see these targets right here, these targets here. This target, the beginnings of it here. 6 miles on one, 3 miles on the other. It's like having 2 radars in one. In looking at radar, we have different ways of looking at it. The dark targets on the white background is the best for bright daylight conditions. For nighttime, we have a palette, power, 4, enter. That's your best nighttime screen. And here's another daytime screen. Power, 3, enter. That's a pretty familiar looking screen to you.